Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Nicole and this video is going to be about burnout. Now, if you missed my last video, then you don't know that burnout means you have a lack of motivation to do something. Whether that's going to class or putting up YouTube videos or drawing or whatever it is that you currently do, and you experience a lack of motivation, a lack of interest in something, then that can be considered burnout if you've been doing it for a long period of time. Now, this video is just the second of 8 videos I have planned to help you and your friends become more productive in life. Burnout is a common issue among students and among lots of different people in the work industry. And this is caused from stress and overload. Students become overloaded with classes. They take on more than they can chew, and they find themselves burned out before the semester can even end. This is the same with people who work in offices, people who work behind desks or out in the field. It's a common thing among everybody, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to combat burnout. So, tip number 1 is something I just previously mentioned, and that's biting off more than you can chew. I've seen this repeatedly in other students that I took classes with. I myself have done the same thing previously, taking on more than I can chew by signing up for more classes than I needed. This is what a lot of new college students do. This is what a lot of people in the work industry do by taking on more than they should be doing. So before you bite off more than you can chew, consider your time. How much time do you actually have, and how much time should you actually be spending on something? If you're currently working on one project, should you really be adding a second project to your list? Should you really be doing that if you're spending less time with your family, less time with your friends, and less time on yourself? You should be taking regular breaks, and if you don't have time for breaks, then you're doing too much. Take the time to recognize your limitations. Okay, we can't do everything. We only have 2 hands. We only have a certain amount of time to do something in a day, and we have to recognize when we can't do something. If you currently are taking on 2 projects and someone asks you to help them with another, you have to recognize that you don't have the time. If you're taking on 3 classes and your advisor advises you to take on another one, you don't have the time. Understand your limitations. Don't push yourself past what you already know you can do. Because then it's just a matter of time before you burn out and you drop all of them. Tip number 2, I mentioned previously in my last video, very briefly, and that is to exercise. Now you may be thinking, I don't have the time to go to the gym. Well, that's fine. There are thousands of videos on YouTube that you can just turn on your phone or your TV and do it right from your bedroom. There's all kinds of things you can do. Exercising lifts your mood. It gets your brain flowing. It gets your blood flowing. This is something you can take 5 to 7 minutes to do in the morning. Or you can just go for a 30-minute walk when you wake up. Whatever it is, if it gets your body moving, it's exercise. Take the time to do that. If you don't have time to do it, make time. Because you should always have time to do this. This is something that will keep you from getting burned out. Now you might think, well, maybe I can get burned out from walking every day at the same time. No, you can't, because exercise lifts your mood. You cannot possibly be upset and exercise at the same time. It lifts your mood and is tremendously helpful when you're working on a project. You're tired of working on that project. You're tired of doing the same homework, or you've been doing the same homework for a week, or maybe you're working on your final exam and you're just tired of studying. Taking a walk, going to the gym, putting on an exercise video, any of that can help tremendously towards avoiding burnout or treating burnout. Tip number 4 is probably the most obvious one, and that's get help. Now you're probably wondering, get help on what? I don't want a therapist. I'm not talking about getting help with a therapist. I'm talking about asking your friends or your family to help you with what you're currently working on. Maybe you're working on studying for an exam. Okay, don't study by yourself. That's stressful. Get your parents or your sibling or a friend of yours to help you study. Make it fun. Stop trying to do things by yourself. You are one person. There are multiple people around you who would probably be more than happy to help you. Or maybe you don't know anyone who can spare the time to help you, and you're working on something like YouTube and you have enough money to spare, maybe you can hire someone to help you. But you are one person. If you're taking on more than you should be, you are just one person. You're going to need help. And I advise, if you want to get rid of burnout, you want to avoid burnout, hire someone or ask someone in your circle to help you. Teamwork is the best work. That's why most of the time in high school, they have you team up with somebody to do a project, because it alleviates the stress. It balances out how much work needs to be done between the partners. My final tip for today is to get yourself in working order. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by that, I mean stay hydrated, eat healthy, get enough sleep. It's recommended that you get up to 8 hours of sleep per day, 6 minimum. And a lot of people are going to school and they got 4 to 3 hours. Some people do all-nighters because they're trying to study for something. Don't stop. It's not worth your health. It's not worth it, because the next day you're going to be less productive than the day before, and burnout is more likely to happen in that case. So get the sleep you need. Eat the food you're supposed to eat. Take the breaks you're supposed to take. Stay hydrated, because I know by personal experience, back-to-back classes, sometimes you forget to eat. Sometimes you grab a snack in between classes because you think that's going to keep you awake. It's not. Sometimes you forget to get something to drink. You're going back-to-back doing things and you're forgetting to take care of yourself. And you need to do that if you want to avoid burnout and you want to improve your productivity. Because the more productive you are, the more you get done. If any of these tips have helped you, or maybe you're experiencing burnout as well, let me know down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's help each other out, because I know how hard it can be when you experience burnout. It's terrible. The lack of motivation equals the lack of productivity, and the less productive you are, the less likely it is you get anything done. You lose jobs. You lose time that you can't get back. And so I want to help you get to where you're doing what you need to do. I really hope this video helped. And I hope to see you back here Wednesday.